You okay? Yeah, I've just been feeling kind of stuck lately. Stuck how? Just like I'm in a rut. Everything feels monotonous, dull, the same. Yeah. Have you tried changing up your routine? No, I love my routine. I need my routine. Let me rephrase that. Have you tried making tiny changes in your routine that don't actually impact your day? Explain. Like, you usually squeegee the shower door right to left every time. Try going left to right, or make breakfast on the opposite side of the kitchen. Or even, just try switching where you stand. This feels weird, but it's helping you be just a little bit more present while changing your routine without actually changing anything. Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, I guess I'm the one who has to leave now. Bye! A watched message thread never dings. That was a stretch. How long have you been waiting for them to text you? It's more complicated than that. Explain. So basically, I don't think that they're gonna text me. It's just, you want them to? Yes, but because they messed up and I want them to apologize. I don't think you're gonna get that with silence. Well, I want them to apologize so I can tell them to fuck off. Why? Because I want to have the last word. Why? So I can say things ended on my terms. Why? Because I... What? Because you have a need for control and you just want to hurt them the way that they hurt you? Hey! You know, constantly sitting around and waiting for somebody to come back so that you can have the last word is doing you more harm than good. But what else am I supposed to do? Live your life for yourself, maybe? And not just so someone can see how happy I am without them. I know you are one spiteful bitch, but maybe I should just try to be happy, just for the sake of being happy. And maybe then I won't have the brain space to think about them anymore anyway. My friends hate me. Friends hate. Do you see the disconnect? Well, I thought that they were my friends, but they definitely hate me. State the evidence. They never respond to my texts. Are they the texting type? They constantly dodge plans to hang out. Dodging, or they're busy people with busy lives? And they definitely go out together, and I'm definitely not invited, but maybe it's just not an invite thing. Even if it weren't an invite thing, I still need the time, date, and location. Okay, so maybe you weren't invited. That's what I'm saying. Or maybe they just assumed you knew. Ah! Fine, let's go with it. Your friends hate you. What? Are they your friends? Well, I want them to be, even if they hate you. I thought we really got along. So they pretended to get along with you even though they hate you? I guess so. Doesn't that seem a little silly? And a little not worth the effort. Exactly. But if they really did hate you, which maybe they do, why would you want to spend your time with people who don't like you? Because I really want them to like you. But don't you think a friendship is more enjoyable when you're both comfortable in how much you enjoy each other? I guess so. Do you really want to be friends with them? Or do you want them to be friends with you? You know what makes me feel kind of weird? When people act like you and I are two different people rather than just a broken down and split up version of one me. Right. Like, it's just kind of uncomfortable when people act like you're a naive child who needs me to take care of you. And you're some sort of super mature, all-knowing being who never has problems. Or when they ask me to start having problems because the balance is off. But in reality, the balance is that all of these problems belong, or once belonged, to both of us. Because you're a representation of the anxieties that live in my head. And you're a representation of the rational, logical thoughts that I really want to listen to, but a lot of times struggle to trust. So it's not that one of us is smarter or more mature or even different from the other. It's just that we're two sides of the same person. I have been putting off starting this project for literal weeks. Why? Because I really want it to be good. Because every time I try to start it, it takes me like 3 hours just trying to figure out how to start it. Are you final drafting your first draft? Am I whatting my what? Are you mentally designating the first draft as my final draft? I'm just trying to make the first draft really good so that the final draft is that much better. So it's taking you an eternity to start the project because I'm trying to think of the perfect opening. This is gonna be easier said than done. Oh no. But can you try to allow your first draft to be bad? But this project is important to me. I don't want any version of it to be bad. Well, then no version of it is ever gonna be done. That's not true. I just need to get the first draft out of your system. It'll take you much less time to edit than to write it perfectly on the first attempt. Just like I did with the script for this video. I can never try anything new. Yes, you're afraid of change. We know this. No, I mean, like, whenever I try to do something new, people don't seem to like it as much. I just feel bad when I do something in addition to this and it doesn't get the same kind of attention, or sometimes even gets negative attention. I want you to get really, truly introspective for a second, okay? Okay. Who are you? I'll start. You're an actor. I'm a singer. You're a songwriter. I'm a comedian. You're a friend. A dog lover. Kind-hearted. Anxious. A creator. Bi. Jewish. Neurodivergent. You are so many things. Some that I like and some that you don't. So if I try to limit myself to just one thing, you'll be asking yourself and the people here to only focus on a small part of you. So even if the voices of the people who don't like it get stuck in my head, you're allowed to be and share as much or as little of yourself as you want to. Oh my God, what happened in here? Huh? Nothing, I'm fine, everything's fine. You don't look or seem fine. I'm fine, I'm just a little stressed. Listen, not to take your job or anything, but have you thought about cleaning my room? Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I don't have time. What if you multitask? How am I supposed to clean my room while doing something else? Hand me that water bottle. You clean while talking to me. Well played. So what are you so stressed about? I just feel like everything is out of control right now. And you don't think any of that has to do with the fact that the space you spend about 20 hours of the day in is in absolute disarray, making my brain feel even more cluttered? Hey, you said it, not me. Thoughts? Better? A little. Why do I have so much trouble building and maintaining close relationships? What part of that was funny? Oh, you seriously don't know? No, I know, but only in a silly way. You're afraid of getting hurt, and yet I let you hurt my feelings every day. And you assume you're always gonna be the one who gets hurt. The past does not lie. So when it comes to building close relationships, you tend to gravitate toward people who will give you that exact outcome. That doesn't make sense. Why would I do that? Maybe so you'll always be right? I am always right. Maybe so you can feel a sense of control. No one can surprise me by leaving if I always expect them to leave. And then you push away the people who genuinely want to care about you the way that you say you want to be cared about. I just don't have time to maintain more relationships than I already have. You have time to sit and spiral over people that you've known for a long time aren't gonna support you. Well, maybe the people who seem to care about me make me cringe a little. Or maybe they're hiding bad intentions. Yeah, the bad intentions aren't hidden in the people that you do gravitate toward, and you maybe only cringe because you don't trust that someone who actually likes you has good taste. I did not come here to be read like a fucking book. That is exactly why you came here. Why am I always afraid of the worst case scenario? Because the worst case scenario is usually scary. No, but why am I always convinced that it's actually gonna happen? What worst case scenario are you going with here? That every time I really care about someone and you let them into your life, that they're just gonna leave or find someone better or turn on me or get tired of you? Are you trying to give me new ideas? Because I've already thought of all of those. So why do you start going down this rabbit hole in the first place? I can just tell. I don't know, I can sense a shift in their energy. And you're positive that energy shift has everything to do with you and nothing to do with something completely unrelated? It doesn't matter, because now all I can do is sit and think about it, and I can't do or think about anything else until I reach out just to make sure that we're okay. But then my constant need for reassurance pushes them away, so that even if they weren't on the verge of leaving, now they are. And hey, breathe. We gotta figure out an alternative for when you get like this. I just need to know that they're not gonna leave. I know this is scary, but there's always a possibility that someone will leave. Then how am I ever supposed to be happy or comfortable? You can remind yourself that this scenario you've mentally created is just one of many. But every time I have something good, I'm just afraid of losing it. And then you don't even get to enjoy the good parts of things. And then I cling on even tighter, causing people to get uncomfortable and creating a self-fulfilling prophecy every time. Let's say you haven't heard from someone in a couple of days. Have you gone a few days without talking to them before? I think so. And they came back, I guess. So why assume that they won't this time? Because I can just tell, so I need to reach out and figure out what's going on. Well, before you do that, put it down. Can you list out the undeniable facts? They hate me. No, I haven't heard from them in a couple of days. That's the only fact. Yeah. How about whenever you get like this, I try to list out only the facts and hold off on making decisions based around assumption. Is it an assumption if I feel it really, really strongly? You know the answer. I bet by now you're sick of hearing about my past. Not too sick of it, considering I'm extremely familiar with it. Every day a new sad story worse than the last. You've been through a lot. That's not your fault. Anxious attachment that I'm working to combat. Yeah, we've been talking about that one for a few days. But I'm terrified that I can't grow from this place. That's not true. You can and you will. It might take some time and it might be uncomfortable at first, but all my joy holds hands with underlying fear. Why am I getting the sense that you already know exactly what you're gonna say next and you're not actually listening to me? That it'll crumble just as fast as it appeared. That was a very artistic way of putting it. Giving vulnerability yet another try. Well, that's good, but I'm afraid that yours could just turn out to be a lie. We are the same person. I'm scared of everything. All my fears, they just accrue. Girl, these just sound like lyrics, but I'm terrified that I'm not scared of you. October 27th. I'm not done with this whole anxious attachment thing. I thought you were good after you took a whole commercial break about your song. My song about anxious attachment? I do see my lapse in judgment there. So I'm supposed to only act on the facts and not what you feel could be true. Even then, that doesn't stop me from feeling shitty. I know. It sucks to have to deal with that all the time. So how do I not feel it? You're gonna tell me it takes time and practice, aren't you? You know me so well. Now I'm gonna ask you to do something that you don't want to do. Classic. Think back to the last time you felt this way and you were right. Why would you make me do that? Because you moved on, huh? You felt this way before and you were right before and you moved on to be able to tell the tale and now feel this way about someone else. It still piles up and then causes this feeling to escalate with every new person. It's not about proving yourself wrong. It's about knowing that you'll be okay even if you're right. I just told you I'm still struggling. If you eventually know and internalize that you'll be okay, I'll be able to start to enjoy my relationships for what they are, rather than focus your energy on what they aren't or what they could become. Because I've been left before, and you may be left again, but I'm still here to tell the tale. So I'm trying not to freak out about my whole abandonment issues thing. Why are you looking at me like that? The octave of your voice tells me you're not doing too well with it. Even if I know that I'll theoretically be okay without them, you still notice changes in their behavior? I don't want to notice it, but I can't help but pick up on it. Okay, so what do you do when you notice it? I ask if we're okay. Why? Because if they're upset, I want them to tell me. No, I meant why do you assume that it's your responsibility? Huh? You're assuming that if they're acting weird, they are, that you have to bring it up. I do! If someone is upset with you, it's their responsibility to tell you. But I want to work it out, and hopefully they do too. But that's a bridge that you can cross when they decide to tell you. So I'm just supposed to wait for them to bring it up. If the relationship is worth keeping, they'll communicate when something isn't right. But what if they don't? Then why do you want to convince someone to stay in your life if they're not willing to communicate their feelings to me? Especially if those feelings are pertinent to or about you. And I can't sneakily convince them that bringing it up was their idea? Yeah, I figured that was bad. So if there's a creator that I really like and I want to help support them in doing what they do, but you don't have the money to access the paywall content or buy merch or see them if and when they do live shows, how can I support them in a meaningful way? Well, you're off to a good start by asking the question, because that helps with engagement. But you can follow them on all their socials, because that'll help them gain notability and be able to monetize those other places. But what if they can't monetize yet, like on the red play button place? Then that's the perfect time to watch their videos. To boost their watch time and help them qualify? Exactly. Maybe even put a couple in a playlist. Speaking of playlists, if they have music, does listening to it help? As long as you're purchasing it or streaming it legally, does any streaming platform count? If they're on it, it counts. But what if I just honestly don't like their style of music? Recommend them to a friend that might, because that's another way to help them grow their audience. Which circles back to point one again. Got it.